All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Curiosity Corner Live. We are going to take just a few moments and let more folks at home come in and join us. So, let's see. Oh, good morning, Anthony. Welcome to today's episode. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I hope everyone's having a good day so far. I'm having a pretty good day. I'm super excited just because we are open to the public again. So make sure you get your advance tickets at www.greatscience.com for all of that information. That does include Body Worlds RX, which is our current traveling exhibition, which is super duper cool. So I highly recommend you come in and check that out. So I think it's been about enough time. So hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Curiosity Corner Live. My name is Joy. I'm a guest engagement specialist at the Great Lakes Science Center, and today I am coming to you live from the Great Lakes Science Center, and together we are going to explore something really cool with math, which is how computers count. So when we count, we use something called decimal or base 10, and that just means there are 10 individual numbers that we use. There's 0 through 9, and then when we hit double and triple digit numbers, we just use those same numbers over again. So we use 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then repeat. Now, it works really well for us because, well, for one, we've been doing it since like ancient times. That's how long we've been counting on base 10. But we also have a very easy to understand built-in method of understanding base 10. We have our fingers. So most humans have 10 fingers. So if you want to count to 5, you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Simple. But computers don't count that way because, one, computers do not have fingers inside of themselves that help them learn how to count, but they count with a different way that helps them maximize their efficiency. So computers usually count in something called binary or base 2. And in base 2, there are 2 digits or bits. So there's 0 and there's 1. That's it, just 0 and 1. Now, computers can count well beyond 1, but they use those 2 different numbers, 0 and 1. And that happens because computers send information through the wires that they have hardwired into them and internally to convey information. So 0 means the signal is off, and 1 means the signal is on. This way computers can send a whole bunch of information without having to have all these extra wires and crossing and having to figure it out. So 0 and 1. Now let's see how we can use that to figure out numbers and how to convert them from decimal, which is how we count, to computer world. So base 2 is in powers of 2. So I have here my nifty handy dandy chart with some numbers. So starting over here, we have 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Now, this chart can keep going and going and going, but I only had so much room on this piece of cardboard. Hence why I stopped at 64. Now, so these are, like I said, the powers of 2. So if you have learned about powers of 2 already, you're ahead of the game. If you haven't yet, I'll go over it real quick. So 1 is 2 to the 0. So if you multiply any positive whole number and you put it to the 0 power, it's 1. 2 is 2 to the first, so 2 times 1. 4 is 2 to the second power, so 2 times 2. 8 is 2 to the third, so 2 times 2 times 2, and then so on and so forth. So let's say I wanted to convert a number into binary. So let's do number 10. Now 10 is a 1 and a 0. So it is, you might think that it's the same in binary, but it's not. So let's look at it. So let's convert it from decimal to binary, and then we'll see what 10 is, or 1, 0 in binary code. So if I were to try to find 10, let's see, take a look. Do you think 10 is a power of 2? I don't see 10 on my chart, so I don't think 10 is a power of 2. But we can still convert 10 into binary because do you see any numbers up here that you can add together to make the number 10? So let's see. What can I add together to make 10? I don't think we need 64 to make 10. So let's see, Anthony, you see some numbers? What can I add together to make 10? See, I don't think I need my 64. And I don't think I need my 32. 32 is too big. Let's see, 16 is also too big. Let's see, I have an 8, and then 10 minus 8 is 2, both of which are powers of 2. So I'm going to turn on my signal to 8, and I'm going to turn on my signal to 2. So I have 8 and 2 that you can add together to make 10. Exactly, Nathan, 8 plus 2. Good job. So that means 10, if you're going to convert decimal 10 into binary, you would need 1. You don't need the 4, so it's 0. 1, 0. So make sure you don't forget about the zeros in between your ones or after your ones, because that's a number. So 10 in binary is 1, 0, 1, 0. Now, if we were to make 10 as a binary number, let's see what it'd be in decimal. So we need the 0 at the end, and we need a 1, so we need to turn on that signal. So 10 as a binary number is actually 2 as a decimal number. So it's a little bit different. So let's try a different number. So if 10 is 1, 0, 1, 0, let's do 14 because today is the 14th. So let's see. I'm going to test your math skills again. What numbers do you see that you can add together to make 14? Because 14 is not a power of 2. So what can I add together? It can be more than 2 numbers. It can be as many numbers as you need to make that number. So you want to add 4. You want to make 14. So we know we have 8 and 2 that equal 10. So what can we add to that to make 14? So I don't think 8 plus 2 plus 64 is going to help us. 8 plus 2 plus 32 is not going to help us either. 16 is also too big. So if I add, let's see. So I have 8 plus 2. Let's see. So 14 is 10 plus 4. So if 8 and 2 are 10, if we add the 4, that makes 14. Good job, Anthony. You got it. 8 plus 4 plus 2. So if we turn on the signal to 8, and we turn on the signal to 4, and we turn on the signal to 2, we leave the signal to 1 off because we don't need it. That means 14 is 1, 1, 1, 0 in binary. That's really how it works. You find your numbers in powers of 2 and then turn on the signal. So we can also do this backwards. So say I were to give you a number like 10100, for example. Now, we would just need to find it on our nifty chart. So if it's 10100, we know the last 2 numbers are zeros, so those are going to stay off. And then we need a 101. So turn on these 2 zeros. And so 10, so we need 16 is what we turned on the signal for. It was 16 and 4. So what's 16 plus 4? Because all of our other signals are off. So in order to find what this is in decimal, we just need to add the 16 and the 4. And 16 plus 4 is 20. So if you were to convert 20 into a binary number, it would be 10100. See? It's a little tricky. Easy as that. Now, as computers have grown more advanced, they've figured out how they can handle bigger numbers. So remember, 0 and 1, each individual digit is called a bit. If you put 4 individual bits together, it's called a nibble. And if you put 8 individual bits together, it's called a byte. So because these numbers were getting longer and longer and longer, computers sort of started working with a different system that makes it easier to process longer numbers. Now that is called hexadecimal. Now this is really, really tricky. So hexadecimal is in something called base 16. That means there are 16 individual numbers or digits, or bits. So base 10 is how we count. Hexadecimal has the same 0 through 9, but instead of 10 through 15, it uses letters. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. So A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, and so on. Now that allows a 2-digit number to be written as one single bit. So, like I said, it's tricky, but bear with me. I'm going to try and explain it the best I can. So, in order to find out what a decimal number is in hexadecimal, we need to use dreaded long division. Scary, I know. So let's try 200. Now I need to divide 200 by 16. So 16 goes into 20 one time. So you're going to put your 1 up here. And then subtract the 16. Bring the 0 down. And you have 40. Okay? I know, Nathan, it's crazy. It took me a really long time to figure this out. But, so 16 goes into 40 2 times. And we take out 32 because 16 times 2 is 32. And then you have a remainder of 8. Now, hexadecimal conversion relies on finding the remainders. So I have my 8 over here. So remember, with these numbers, I start all the way on the left. So this is going to be the last digit in my hexadecimal number. So I'm going to put this over here. And then the number on top, right here, is 12. But 16 doesn't go into 12, does it? Because 16 is bigger than 12. Anthony, you just learned long division. Awesome. You can figure out hexadecimal. That's pretty cool. So if 16 doesn't go into 12, that means 12 is our other remainder. But remember, 12 doesn't technically exist as 12 in hexadecimal. So if A is 10, B is 11, C is 12. So 200 in hexadecimal is actually C8. So that's 2 different ways to write the same number. One is how we count it, and the other one is how computers count it. So that's completely different, but it's the same number. So we can convert hexadecimal numbers back into binary too. So let's say I give you a random number. So let's do 9A4. There you go. I know this doesn't look like an actual number because there's an A in it, but we can convert it back. So it works kind of similarly to our binary thing, except instead of powers of 2, we're using powers of 16. So this is going to be multiplied by 16 to the 0 power, which just like 2 to the 0 equals 1. Okay. A is going to be multiplied by 16 to the first, which is 16 times 1. So 16. And then 9 is going to be multiplied by 16 to the second power, which is 16 times 16, which is 256. Writing upside down is hard. Okay. Now, this is when a handy-dandy calculator can be your best friend. All right? So 9 times 256 is 2,304. I cheated. I did this math earlier today, so I know what it is. Remember, A is 10. So 10 times 16 is 160. And 4 times 1 is 4. So all you need to do to figure out what 9A4 is in a decimal number is to add this all together. So 9A4 in hexadecimal equals 2,468 in decimal or base 10, which is how we count. So again, 2 different ways to say the same number. This is in our speak. This is in computer speak. So binary and hexadecimal is pretty tricky, but we just saw we can do this at home with a little bit of math. Calculators help, as do pencils and paper. And that brings me to my challenge for you today, which is to figure out what your birthday or another number that you really like, or as many numbers as you want really, are in binary or hexadecimal, or do both. So say your birthday was today. You can make your own little chart, or you have your hands. So if I were to do binary on my hands, I have, let's see, I have 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So today it's in July right now, so it's the 7th month. So I don't need the 16 or the 8. So I have 4 plus 2 plus 1. So 7 is 1, 1, 1. Okay. And then remember our 14. I don't need 16 and I don't need the 1. So I have 1, 1, 1, 0. So 714 would be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. Or, you know, you could take it a step further and make your own. If you have beads, you can make your own really cool binary bracelet, which is what I did. The black are the zeros and the white are the ones. And fun fact, there's also different ways that you can make words with binary. So each letter in the alphabet has its own binary code. So you can try and do some research and see if you can find what your name is in binary too. Now that's a little bit trickier. This is actually my name in binary, but whatever you try, share your results with us. Let us know what numbers you calculated and how you got there. Or if you make a binary creation, take a photo, share it with us, tag us on social media, use our hashtag StayCuriousCLE. We cannot wait to see just how awesome your math skills are. And once you're done with that, you can clean up, wash your hands, and get excited for our next all-new episode of Curiosity Corner Live. We're going to learn more about math tomorrow with my friend Andy, and he is going to go over some really cool stuff with probability. So that is going to be super fun. So make sure you come back tomorrow and every weekday at 10:30 for our next all-new episode. So get mathing. Is mathing a word? It is now. Get mathing. Have fun. And until next time, stay curious.